Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back in r/AmITheDevil because, yeah, for some reason people are horrible human beings, have to ask other people on the internet, am I a horrible human being, and then are bewildered of the fact that when people say frickin' yes. So if you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification. The engagement does very much help out an absolute ton, and I appreciate the crap out of you guys for it. Am I the a-hole for suggesting that we stay somewhere else during a vacation? My wife and I have a 2-year-old daughter. Let's call her Anna. And we are currently on a family vacation in Hawaii with my parents and my in-laws. 7 people total. We are staying at my father's timeshare, which he periodically invites us to. The 2 pairs of grandparents adore Anna and seem to get along with each other. Anna is undergoing potty training right now, and as with all potty training, there are occasional accidents. We arrived in Hawaii 2 days ago, and she had quite a few accidents. I suggest that she's still dealing with an unfamiliar place and new people. Right before dinner, Anna had an accident on the pull-out sofa, which necessitated a call to housekeeping to swap out the sheets and cushions. My dad was not happy. When all 7 of us sat down shortly afterwards for dinner, my dad sat down and the first thing out of his mouth was, "Anna is still out of control, isn't she?" Bear in mind, Anna was sitting right across from him at the table. I let it slide and continued eating, and my wife said something to try to brush it off. Then my dad suggested that we put Anna back in diapers and that she not be allowed on the bed or the couch. I responded by saying that I didn't want to do that and that potty training is a process that has highs and lows. My dad then remarked that it would be problematic if she had an accident on the carpet because it would be hard to clean up. In my mind, I thought to myself, so you don't want her on the bed, couch, or carpet. Where is she supposed to hang out the whole time? The bathroom? At that point, I was frustrated and said something to the extent of, if Anna's accidents are too big of a problem, we can always find another place to stay at. Then my dad blew up. He accused me of threatening him and of being disrespectful. It seemed that he took my suggestion as a threat of leaving, and he made very clear that he felt offended. He also said that I needed to be careful with what I say and show respect to your parents. I responded by repeatedly telling him that I didn't threaten him, nor did intend for him to feel threatened. He responded that it doesn't matter what your intent was, because I feel threatened. At this point, I was really upset, so I said something I probably shouldn't have. I remarked that he was too easily threatened. My dad then demanded that I apologize to him. I didn't feel that I needed to, but I half-heartedly apologized because I wanted the argument to end, and because it was making things super uncomfortable for my in-laws, who were also sitting at the table and eating dinner through all of this. Later that evening, my dad pulled me aside and lectured me further about the argument. It seemed that the whole blow-up happened in response to my remark that we could stay elsewhere if my dad didn't tolerate Anna's potty training accidents. Am I the antagonist or a-hole for saying that? Yes. Yes, the frick you are. You know, if I had somebody bringing over their kid and their kid was not potty trained, I'd be a little hesitant to have their kid going around if they weren't wearing diapers. You know, because here's the thing, if you have to clean a carpet, that is incredibly expensive. If you have to clean a lot of other stuff, it is kind of expensive. Plus, it also just ruins the general vibe of the evening. Like, hey, how was your day? How are you doing? Ah, damn it, the kid shit on the carpet again. How long does potty training take? Yeah, about this long. Feel free to pause and read. But if you're going to a place with your kid who is not potty trained, yeah, the diaper is very much a required thing because, I would rather not have anybody bring over their kid who is very clearly not potty trained and then just let them do their thing on the floor, or the carpet, the couch, whatever. Because, yeah, I would not want anybody to have their kid that is... I don't even like people bringing in their pets that are not potty trained to my work. That's also because my customers got the same audacity as Dingbat here, where they would probably ask another person to clean up after them. Plus, also, technically, isn't it destruction of property if somebody shits on your couch? Bottom line, respect other people, but also be a good parent. Why is it that there are some people that are kind of bad at that second part? Am I the a-hole for canceling my daughter's music classes? I'm a single mom to one daughter, Madeline 15. She is very musically inclined and is an amazing singer, so when everything happened, I put her in piano lessons and voice lessons after school once a week to give her something to look forward to. Madeline has leukemia. She gets chemo every day for a week and then has 3 weeks off. I understand that she is tired and probably can't focus well because of the chemo, but she's fallen behind in all of her classes, and has been keeping her room clean, but she was always doing great in her voice lessons and piano classes. I think if she tried half as hard in school as she does in voice and piano, that she'd be great. So I called her teachers and told them I was canceling classes until further notice, and I told them why. Madeline's voice teacher asked me to reconsider and told me she thinks that Madeline has a real chance at making it as a singer. I told her that my decision is final until she catches up in school and can keep her room clean and hung up. When I told Madeline that her classes were canceled until she keeps her room clean and catch up in school, she started crying and yelling at me that I'm taking away the only thing that she has and that she hates me. It has been months, and I rarely hear Madeline singing or playing piano anymore, and she stays in bed all day. She only speaks to me when it's absolutely necessary, and even then will only say a couple of words. I bought her headphones for her birthday a couple of weeks ago, and she hasn't touched them. They're sitting in the sealed box in her room. I'm starting to feel bad about taking her lessons away, but I just wanted her to try harder in school and to keep her room clean. That's not too much to ask. Was I the a-hole for taking away her lessons? Edit! I realize I was the a-hole. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to call Madeline's teacher and put her back in voice and piano lessons. And we are going to schedule a meeting with her school counselor after the break to see how we can make school easier for her. Edit 2. To those of you asking about her room, my parents were hoarders, and our house was always cluttered. When I moved out, I needed everything to be clean or I wouldn't be able to function. Edit 3. Madeline is back in her music classes, and we're both starting individual therapy and family therapy soon. I'm also gonna try and have someone come once a week to clean so she won't have to worry about any chores. Wait, hold up, that was an option all along? You know, I'm kind of wondering if she intended to try and glaze over the fact that they have cancer. Cause yeah, you know, it's not like chemo happens to do anything to your physical well-being. Oh yeah, no, it fatigues the crap out of you, so yeah, God forbid they happen to not be able to perform up to their standards when it comes to, like, school and shit. But yeah, no, they're going through they're getting treated for cancer. Yeah, they're not performing in school and they're not able to keep up with cleaning up their room. Okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take out the one thing that they like doing. So yeah, you were very much the a-hole, and if there were any negative words being said in response to that, very much they were well deserved. Thought we built a perfect relationship. What the frick? My M41, wife F37, of 10 years, 12 together, out of the blue, decided she wasn't in love anymore and wants to YOLO it. She's moving out next month and we have a 3-year-old boy. Where to go from here? What am I overlooking? Background: we are in the US, MCOL, major East Coast city. We own a house and a car. Income is jointly $200,000, split more or less equally. Expenses are divided equally. Both have master's degrees. Political and ethical values are almost exactly aligned across all subjects. We have a normal social circle, somewhat diminished by the beer virus, with regular interactions, weekly brunches, sports watchings, game nights, etc. I'm on great terms with her family. Her mother and brother visit 3 to 4 times a year and stay with us. My parents visit 5 to 6 times a year and stay with us as well. As far as I can tell, she is on good terms with them as well. Both of our parents and relatives are extremely supportive and friendly. life has been on basically easy mode for the last 5 years, which is, ironically, one of her complaints. We are just coasting. We are doing great financially, maxing out a 401k and savings on our kids' educations. We are both calm and rational. We fight frequently is around 3 to 4 times a year and manifests itself as us just taking time and space apart for a few days, and everything goes back to normal. There's no yelling or physical violence or any discomfort. It's more of a, I just need some space for myself right now. Last month, my wife announced that she is leaving next month. This came as a complete shock to me. At first, I thought it was a joke. Then, an attempt to get me to do something. Then, the realization that she was serious. I have attempted everything I can to think of to find an avenue of moving forward together, but all has fallen on deaf ears. I offered counseling, taking time apart, seeing other people romantically, a period of focusing, of treating each other with special care and affection, etc. Everything has been diminished without a thought. Furthermore, I'm not getting a further explanation than I'm not in love anymore. Okay, now admittedly, the intensity of the romantic feelings have declined, but I thought this was just the natural cycle of being married. Intense romantic attraction over time transforms into something more stable with age, a form of love where companionship, friendship, non-physical affection takes an increasingly more prominent role as the relationship ages, and I was okay with it. Until very recently, we still had a healthy sexual life, about 10 times a week! I find her attractive, and it came as a complete shock when she announced seemingly out of nowhere that she wasn't sexually attracted to me anymore. We had disagreements in the past about the frequency, and settled on 2.5 hours per week whenever possible of the times devoted entirely to us. At some point, she started making jokes about how my drive is supposed to slow down at this point, and maybe I should find a younger woman to satisfy me. I thought this was just playful banter. It is my personal belief that a good relationship is based on the quality of the experiences people have together. Earlier in the relationship, we traveled across the world, taking a month of vacations per year to exotic places. We ran marathons together, played video games together, cooked together, did yoga together, etc. The nature of our experiences together was always overwhelmingly positive. When we decided to have kids, we came to an agreement that we'd stay together no matter what until they were 18. This is part of the reason I feel betrayed now. I realize it's a stupid thing to agree to, but it made sense at the time. Since she got pregnant, everything changed. Our relationship didn't just not take priority. It fell out of the top 10. Work, childcare, her personal hobbies, her extended family, all of a sudden became more important. It was cognizant of this change and tried to implement special time for us alone together, but was met with lukewarm responses at the best. She was dragging her feet on everything, making it seem like the usual things, like attending to friends' weddings, was all of a sudden a great favor that she was doing for everyone. I tried my best to suggest things for us to do together, but increasingly got rejected more and more. Fine, I thought this was just a phase. We'll tough it out and recapture the magic as our kids get older. I should say that she has been acting depressed, not enjoying life, complaining about work more and more. One complaint she had since her kid was born was the lack of support in childcare. In the first 2 years, our child preferred the company of his mother. I thought this was normal and understandable. We tried multiple times to give him baths, get him dressed, but he would always start crying and ask for his mother. Since he became 3, he increasingly wants to spend time with me more and more. So, while asking for more help, my wife refused offers for me to make school lunches, get him dressed for school, and walk him to school and back. I'm lost with how to proceed. Goal number 1 is discover the work towards a future in which we stay together as a family. Goal number 2. If goal number 1 is not possible, work towards the best possible future for our kid. So wait, hold up. You're upset because you had a kid and, God forbid, your wife is not able to do the hanky-panky 10 frickin' times a week. Is that it? Because I'm feeling like just because she happened to not be focusing on you, God forbid, you're not the number 1 priority in her world anymore. That really does seem to be the bit of the issue you seem to be having with this situation here. That and the way that everything is being stated, you're making it seem like there's a part in the middle that's being left out. Am I the a-hole for mom-shaming my 20M sister 28F? My 20M sister 28F has a 5-year-old. His dad is not in the picture. She currently is temporarily living with us. My nephew is the most entitled little brat you will ever meet. Super picky eater, constantly jumping around, messy, moody, oversensitive, throwing tantrums, all because my sister enables him. Before she moved in with us, I used to feel sad for her, but now I think this is honestly just my sister's fault. For example, he keeps bringing in dirty rocks, and instead of telling him not to, my sister washes them for him and lets him keep them for when he cries over a toy. He always gives in and buys him whatever he wants. He won't sleep without his toys and has the worst sleep schedule. He will wake up in the middle of the night wanting to play or because he just remembered something. She enables this behavior by listening to what he has to say. He is touch sensitive, sound sensitive, light sensitive, sensitive anything, and my sister does absolutely nothing to get him used to it. She also refuses to discipline him in any way. I told her to tell him to eat or go to bed hungry, and eventually he will get hungry and eat, but she refused, saying that she won't starve her kid. I told her to stop picking up his toys after him and not give him toys until he learns. She said she won't punish him like that. He still occasionally wets himself, and my sister took him to a pediatrician, and they found nothing wrong and recommended to a child psychiatrist. So he got evaluated and didn't get diagnosed with anything, but my sister refuses to believe that this is the fault of her poor parenting and goes doctor shopping to get him diagnosed. Now, since she moved in with us, my mom has been helping her. When she told us how she is so anxious about moving back because she will be all alone again, and she loves my nephew and wouldn't change him for the world, but sometimes he can be so hard to handle. I said that it's on you though. She asked me what I meant, and I told her my nephew is hard to handle because she lacks discipline and keeps enabling him. Her gentle parenting clearly doesn't do her any favors. She doesn't get to complain because she paved this way by refusing to listen to our offers. My sister broke down and started crying because there is already too much on her plate. He doesn't get the help he needs. She does the best she can, and she didn't need me mom-shaming her. I apologized and told her that there is nothing wrong with him. He already saw a professional. The only help he needs is some discipline. Both my parents sided with my sister, and they are all giving me the cold shoulder. Am I the a-hole? I mean, 5-year-olds are gonna be picky little shits regardless. I can guarantee you that. I used to be one. Pick-me girls are wonderful. They get a lot of hate on social media, especially on Reddit. But these so-called pick-me girls are extremely cool, and it's refreshing as a man to hear girls actually trying to impress us. It's a breath of fresh air in modern society to see girls actively trying hard to please the opposite S. I firmly believe that pick-me girls must have a lot of empathy and sympathy for the opposite S, since they actually want to listen to us and find out what we want from a girl. That is selfish and shows maturity in the person to put the other half before themselves. That's truly impressive. The majority of people that criticize them are just jealous that they are getting ahead in life. It appears that it is always the same deal every time. Their critics are mostly unattractive, obese, lonely, single, no job, unemployed / underemployed, and have an undiagnosed mental illness like depression or malignant narcissist psychopathology. So they see a prettier girl who is becoming successful, and it makes these people threatened, like FOMO, that the pick-me girl is about to move up the ladder, and you are not. Narcissists often get toxically jealous of other people's success and want to take a jab at her and put her down with insults to project their own self-hatred onto pick-me girl. But it's really the feminists' insecurity that they are projecting onto this poor girl. They see their classmates maturing and succeeding, and the narcissist secretly internalizes shame and the feeling of guilt that they are stuck in a rut and falling behind their peers. But narcissists can't admit to acknowledge their shame or low self-esteem, so they need a distraction and are willing to insult the girls that they are jealous of. Putting others down makes a narcissist feel powerful and allows them to overcompensate for their own flaws. Feminists these days are toxic and out of control. As a Republican, I used to support the old school feminists from 2 to 3 generations ago, but the new millennials / Gen Z / Gen Alpha I can't say that even if it's only part of a word, are going too far in the wrong direction. They've become the incels with 2X chromosomes. You'll need to hear it, but feminists are just as bad as the red pill incels. Cut from the same cloth, and all of us regular people can see it clear as day. You know, it really does kind of suck that people minding their own business went out of the window years ago. Like, if you don't want to see something on social media, there's a simple case of hitting the block button, or, you know, they do have buttons to make it so that that person's post won't pop up in your algorithm. Am I the a-hole for asking my BF for help? My car has issues that needed fixing, and it's going to cost me around $600. I am home with my family for summer break from college, and I found out while my BF and my brother. I was on the phone with my parents, and we're at work. They told me the cost and asked me to pay it. I said, no way, it was way too much money. I asked if they could cover the costs, but my parents said that they unfortunately have a lot of bills and expenses, and I have a good amount of savings. I have around $5,000 from student loans, my parents, jobs, etc., but I pay rent, and it feels like money goes by really fast. I asked again if they would pay it, and they said no. My brother just recently moved across the country and bought a car, so he is broke, so I didn't ask him. But I asked my BF. I said, it is a lot of money. Would you pay for it? He said that I have the money on my own. I should just pay for it since I have the savings. My brother agreed, but I said that you were my boyfriend. Don't you want to help me? He said I never help with his car expenses, so I should probably just pay it. I said I could help with going forward, but it would be really nice of him to cover it, and it would show his faith in the relationship. My brother snapped at me. What are you doing to show your loyalty in this relationship? I was taken aback and said we were having a conversation. He could mind his business. But he continued and said, stop being a child and acting like you're entitled to your boyfriend's money. Be a grown-ass woman and pay for yourself. Jesus Christ. I have no idea what upset him so bad. I was totally confused. I told him to chill the hell out. I was talking to him. My boyfriend said that he has a lot of expenses too, and stuff he has to pay, and he can't work much because he's taking a lot of classes. He said, I can help you out with some of it. I said it was fine. I didn't want his money anyway. My brother said, good, be a grown adult. God, I have no idea what his deal is. He was being so rude, and he is usually not that rude. I did pay it myself, but I'm 20 and in college. F me for wanting help, JFC. I just asked if he would help pay. It shouldn't be a big deal. But I'm also annoyed at my boyfriend for letting my brother talk to me like that. He didn't respond to anything he said or tell him to shut up. What the frick? Yeah, because your boyfriend was you were the only person in the room that didn't have a common sense thought process. Let me see if I can rephrase this for you so maybe it could register in your dingus kind of mind. You had $5,000 in the bank saved up for what reason exactly? Please do elaborate to the class. And, maybe you did have it saved for a rainy day thing, and, maybe for when stuff happens. Like when your car breaks and you need to spend $600 of it getting fixed. That's kind of what that money is on the side for, but no, for some reason you wanted to try to plead,
"Oh, wait, Mommy, Daddy, can you give me the money for the thing?"
No, you have your own money, do it yourself.
"No, boyfriend, can I have the money? What, are you not faithful in our relationship for paying for my car, even though I could very much do it myself?"
Yeah, no, very much. If I was dating somebody and they asked me that, I'd be very hesitant to help them out on that. I am 30, think I broke my wife, F26, and now she hates herself. What can I do to make my wife feel pretty again? I apologize in advance, as English is not my first language. Pretty much everything here I've translated on Google. 2 weeks ago, my wife, F26, and I, M30, were at a party. Her father's birthday party. It was going well, and then her parents introduced us to an old couple of friends of hers. From when they were around our age, and their daughter, F29 too, who I recognize as an old friend from high school. Let's call her Andrea, fictional name. For context, me and my wife are not the jealous type, as our relationship is based on trust and always has been. So, when Andrea and I sat together on a table and started talking, my wife didn't mind it. I stayed with her family. I remember Andrea as being the fun kid when we were in high school, and she was still just as funny. We were laughing and having a good time, and she started getting a bit touchy, but nothing worth worrying about, I thought. I was wrong. She was definitely getting touchy, feeling my arms and asking if I started working out and that kind of stuff. That's when I messed up, because I didn't stop her. In fact, I held her hips at some point, and then my wife came in. She was obviously jealous and angry, but didn't make a scene. She started asking Andrea if she is married or has a boyfriend, the type of territorial stuff. And at some point, Andrea got uncomfortable and excused herself. I told my wife that she was being rude, and she started accusing me of flirting with Andrea. Of course, I told her I wasn't, and she was overreacting, and Andrea was just an old friend. But my wife insisted that I was flirting and cheating. Then I got mad. Cheating? I snapped at her and said that she was being childish and insecure, overreacting. What then if I was enjoying the attention? It is definitely not the same as cheating, is it? She then said something that made me go silent. Something along the lines of, cheating starts in thought. You don't need to have S with someone in order to cheat. I insisted I didn't cheat on her, and that I never would. But she gave up on arguing and tried to enjoy the party with her family. When we got home later that night, my wife was silent. I didn't say anything either and just assumed that we were over it, since she didn't bring it back up. For the next couple of weeks, she still didn't mention anything, and neither did I. We didn't talk much, and she was also never in the mood for any intimacy. I thought it was okay, and with everything would be back to normal in a week or two. It didn't, and now I know I made all of the wrong decisions. Last night when I got home, my wife was in our bedroom staring at herself in the mirror with a grimace. I asked if she was alright, and she just shakes her head. I kept asking what was wrong, and she broke down in tears saying that she looks hideous. For context, my wife is far from hideous. To me, she is the complete opposite, and so to everyone else. I'm not exaggerating when I say that she can't even go out for groceries without people chiming in to compliment her beauty and her nice hair. So, to hear her say that, it broke me. Of course, I told her that she's beautiful, but she kept sobbing and saying that she never felt so ugly before. I didn't know what to say. I just kept holding her and telling her how pretty she was. But she had that apathetic and gloomy expression on her face, and kept crying herself to sleep. I'm writing this as she sleeps beside me. My heart is completely broken, and I wish I could go back in time and never hurt her in the first place. My wife means everything to me, and I don't know how to fix things. Has everyone ever been through something like this? How do I make my wife feel pretty and special again? I can tell you right now, I'd be feeling kind of crappy if somebody that I was dating happened to have acted like that with an old friend they happened to have met after a bit of a long break, especially if they were getting all handsy and shit. If you're in a monogamous relationship, there is a lot of these types of things which you are not supposed to be doing, and it really is weird how some people have a hard time understanding that. But with that, that is going to have to be with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.